do you need to improve what last week?
We need to finish off our chances, Mark. You know, with a good look at the Treviso game, I think we've had more possession and territory than we've had in perhaps 4 or 5 games previous, and clearly more line breaks and opportunities to score, which we didn't take. You know, Tommy took his try really well the first half, but there was some clean breaks there from Shane from a kick-off. Ashley Beck went through, held up just short. And so, I mean, we just need to be a little bit more clinical, particularly in big games like that. When you get those moments, you need to take those opportunities. But having said that, to score 26 points away from home in Europe, you know, with our normal defensive record, you'd expect us to secure a win there. So it was disappointing to concede from 2 lineouts, 2 set pieces. So that's something we need to work on as well.
You had 14 line breaks, I think.
Yeah, bats we call them. They were ball quickly available for transfer, and that's more than we've had all season. So yeah, hence my comment. You know, we should put them away. So you know, we looked at some of our support lines. They're a little bit lazy. You know, that's an area that we're normally pretty good at. If we get through, we worked hard pre-season at it, but you know, it wasn't there on the day. So you can't take any side for granted, or any line break for granted these days. So you've got to be on the end of them to finish them off.
Just a final one for me on that game, Sean. When you look back and then now you've analysed it, you've got the great penalty, 26 all. Is there anything that you could have gone to win that game, or were you happy with the draw in the end?
At that stage?
Yeah, at the end, sort of thing. Yeah, you had the chance, yeah. You know, it's the balance between trying to win, trying to get the draw 2 points, 4 points, 1 point.
Yeah, lots of decisions to make quickly. I think the boys on the field were pretty composed at the time. You know, to be fair to them, young captain, young kicker. You know, they clearly made the decision. I think Ryan Jones was out there as well as an older head. It was a long way for Kev to go over with the tee or get the message. And you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, we had 1 point in the bag. We've come away with 2, and I think, you know, on reflection, we're probably at that stage content with the 2. I think had we gone for the try there, it would have been bold. Yeah, it might have changed things, but for 25 minutes previous, we never looked like scoring really. So as regard after that guy, I think you're always looking for opportunity. 26 all, but they made a real good kick-off. They penned us down in that corner, and I think, you know, if you survey the whole of the game, then perhaps it was a sensible thing to do to come away with 2, and we're very much alive in that pool now.
Sean, this is a difficult time of the season to coach, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd agree with that, would you?
It's actually an easy time because we've done a lot of groundwork with this group, this particular group. These are the players that have put us at the top of the Pro12 largely, with a great start. And therefore, you know, with this 2-week block in between, it becomes then an extension of that first part of the season where the World Cup was on. So, you know, we're back to that. I mean, get a little bit of normality. It's not ideal. It is difficult numbers-wise. We picked up some significant injuries, so you know it's tipped us a little bit. But it's the same for every group. It's not an ideal season. It's not going to be for the foreseeable future. So we just got to get on with it. And this week has been about reflecting on where we need to improve. And this particular group of players have rolled their sleeves up, and we're looking forward to the next 2 weeks. 2 big Irish teams now in a difficult circumstance is a real challenge for us.
On those injuries, can you elaborate what are they in terms of groups and anything else?
Well, you know, the obvious ones are Adam and Alan Wynne. We played with a couple of boys carrying bumps. We took it to the wire last week. Tommy Bowe and Jonathan Thomas had quite nasty hematomas on their thighs, and of course playing through that has made them just a little bit sore this week, so they haven't been able to train a lot. So they are 2 concerns for us. You know, we've got Eli Walker, who's coming into some real good form. Played against the Scarlets. He picked up a shoulder bump and hasn't played since then. So, you know, in that department. But on the plus side, Hannah Dirksen is coming back and he's looking fit and strong. Barry Davis has had a run of 3 or 4 games for Swansea and he's looking fit and strong. You know, there's been a bit of a rest period for people like Tom Smith. James King, Ian Goff coming back after a slight neck injury. So it swings and roundabouts, you know, it's another chance for these boys to step back into the breach, and we need them to really, because it's a difficult place to go now this week.
Sean,
What do you expect Alan back this one?
Oh, it's difficult to say. It's a very irregular injury that he's had, a dislocated big toe, and you know, it's not one that our medical department see very often either. So the operation was successful. There's no complications there. It's predominantly soft tissue. He's back in, so we don't know. The range we've been given at the moment is quite ridiculous, so it won't be right for me to comment, Gar, but we're hopeful that he'll be back this side of Christmas.
What is the range?
2 to 68 weeks.
No,
I'm joking. No, literally we're looking at between next week and 10 weeks. Yeah, so.
Sean, do you regret not putting in an extra open side in the summer?
No, we did.
What was that?
Sam Lewis. Ben Lewis's brother. One of the best players in the Premiership. Pedigree. Father and brother, top players at that position. Week in, week out performs in the Premiership. Hadn't been in a professional system, brought him in the summer. Played in the LV Cup, did very, very well. So we did.
Is he sort of ready, you know, Heineken Cup rugby?
Well, look, he's not. He's not a Heineken Cup squad, but we got an international side in the Heineken Cup squad.
Yeah, injuries and.
Chauncey O'Toole.
Pardon?
Chauncey O'Toole, Canadian open side, blanket. Yeah. Played in the World Cup.
Is he a specialist open side?
Yeah. Played in the World Cup at 7. Signed as a 7 in our Heineken Cup squad as a 7. Playing on Saturday at 7.
What were you pleased with Matthew Morgan?
Yeah, pleased with his temperament in particular. I think he's admitted that he was pretty nervous at the kick, but he wanted it, he was decisive, which is great. Kicking tremendously well. Him and Daniel, the form off the floor is excellent. You know, and ball in hand, Matthew is a threat. You know, he's still learning the game, but he shows a lot of positives, a lot of confidence, and that's good for a young kid. We're trying to nurture him a little bit and teach him the nuances of the tactical element of the game and the fact that there's another 50% without the ball. But that'll come, you know. And it's great to have him around, and with Daniel getting a deserved call-up, Matthew will have his chance now in the next couple of weeks, which is great.
Just elaborate on Dan's call-up, so obviously you'd be pleased back him for the losing for a couple of weeks, but I suppose you'll be pleased he's got that blue pool.
I'm delighted for him. Look, we've made no secret of what we think of Daniel, and his form has been really good this year. Probably took a bit of a dip in Treviso. It wasn't like him to miss the first 2 kicks, but he bounced back well, kicked the next 5 on the trot. But this season he's been a bit of a rock for us all round. You know, he's defended much better, he's controlled games when we've needed him to. And I think it's a real tribute to the lad. He's only a young lad, and to be dropped from a squad, to take a lot of stick, and then come back through all of this good period for Wales with some good options, to then get selected again for this shows a lot of character for the lad. So very pleased for him. Very pleased.
Connacht, you mentioned it earlier, what are you expecting from them?
Oh gosh, we were really lucky at home to get away with a win. You know, we've got to be honest, we scored early, really well, but we got a lucky second try, and they were always in the game. You know, Jonathan and I were reflecting on our statistics from that game, and it was very much a 50-50 game, and it always is when we go there as well. We've done really well out there. We've had a good game plan, we've executed it, and we've stuck in, and we've got wins out there. But these sides, Connacht, Holley, Treviso, they're different propositions now. They don't lose anybody. They're tight. They fight for a while. They've got a hostile crowd, albeit a small crowd, and they know how to play the elements out there. So it's never easy. So we know what to expect. We just got to go and face it and match it.
You mentioned Dan, but Ian Evans' recall as well. I mean, he's a good start to season.
Yeah, to be fair to Ian, it's been a long, long road for him. You know, we don't have, I've said before, we don't have many 6'9", 6'10" players in Wales, so he's an obvious target. You know, so with injuries in key positions for the national team, then it's a good call up for Ian. You know, he could do with playing consistently now and keep inching his form. It's been a long road for him, but you know, we're pleased that he's had some recognition of all the hard work he's put in. it's just hope now that he comes back with renewed confidence and pushes on with us as well.
Is it nice to be getting back to the league, Sean, this weekend, the top of the table to...
What competition are we in this week? Yeah, I suppose, you know, I like the Celtic competition. You know, I've been around it a long time, haven't I? And you get to know the characters, you get to know each other, it becomes a bit of a cat and mouse. It's our bread and butter. You know, we're on the road, you go to Galway, we've got some young fellas in there who haven't been there, and it's a new experience for them. And I do like the competition. It's difficult that it's sandwiched, or everything is sandwiched round and about. So having said that, we can quickly bounce back into it. And like I said, the international actually affords us that squad that we worked pre-season with and early season to get back to that, and we can look at it in a 2-week blocks to say, hey, you know, can we now consolidate our position? Because it's a very important 2 weeks. If we can get as much as we can of these 2 weeks, it sets up the Welsh derbies then, which everybody loves. It's a great time of year, and of course it puts a lot on them then. So very important 2 weeks, and yeah, look forward to it.
Sean, are you seeing this a transitional season?
We're fighting on all fronts, Mark. That's first and foremost. You know, we're not saying this is, oh, it's a World Cup year or it's a mixed year, and you know, no, we're not saying that. We are definitely gunning for all the competitions. Having said that, though, the nature of the season and what has happened in terms of our squad over the close season means that we're moving in a slightly different direction. So we have to develop that ongoing while getting on with the season, and I think largely pretty successful. You know, we've only lost one game in the Pro12 and the Heineken Cup. So, you know, we're getting on with business, and that transition is having to happen concurrently. It's not easy, Mark, but we definitely want to go down this road, and we're heading in the right direction. So, behind the scenes, there may be a lot of work going on regarding that, but we're not writing the season off in terms of achievement. No way.
Sean, in previous press conferences, you said that the only thing you were missing really was the bonus points victory, considering you were top of the Celtic League. How much does that weigh on your mind?
Yeah, you were listening, were you?
Of course.
It doesn't weigh on my mind when the win column is higher than anybody else's, but you know, you have to recognise you're not going to win every game. You know, there's difficult places to go. So we are mindful, which is why, you know, the previous question about taking 2 points in Treviso, Saracens nicking one in Biarritz, you know, Biarritz getting one at us, you know, those things, they all come into the mix at the end, and we're experienced enough in the Celtic competition to know. We had a lot of bonus points last year. We're not sitting on any at the moment, so we know that they could be a factor. It's not something we're ignoring, but like I said right at the start of the press conference, if we're a little bit more clinical, then those bonus points will come. So, you know, we'll be showing a lot of resolve, a lot of character, which is great, a lot of fitness and endeavour towards the end of the games. We now need to start pulling away and picking up some extra points.
You've had a lot of great performances and wins this season. Would you say that you've had a complete performance yet from the Ospreys?
I've got to say, first half against Leinster, first game of the season, was pretty special. You know, it sort of embraced everything that we'd worked on in the summer and everything we want out of the team. Of course, as the games go on, sides learn more about you and try to stop you, and you know, by and large, that's worked. However, you know, we are showing in patches, as Mark said earlier, 14 line breaks on the weekend through some really excellent play from us, just not finishing them off. So there's patches at the moment, and I suppose the solace for us is that we're top of the Pro12, top of our Heineken Pool League joint top, and we're not playing to the best of our ability. So, you know, we'll keep working. Hopefully, there's more to come.
And just finally for me, the statistics say that I don't think you've lost in Connacht since 2008.
Oh God!
Obviously, it says that the Ospreys should run out of win, but how much does that complacency weigh on minds again, really?
No, there'll be no. The reason we haven't lost since 2008 is we haven't been complacent going to Galway, because we know what it's like. And Eric Elwood's team talk will now be, we haven't beaten the Ospreys since 2008 at home, but they've been really close games. They've been down to the wire. Same as our home games. if you look at the results against Connacht at home, there's always only just about a score in it. I don't think it's since 2004-05 season have we really put them away. You know, where Johnny Gordon scored a hat-trick in Galway, and it's a real tough place to go. And the Blues did really well there this season. Toulouse have gone last week and applied themselves and been really clinical. You give Connacht a sniff in any facet of the game and they'll take it. So there won't be any complacency this week, particularly off the back of missing some chances last week.
Can I last question? Do you ever see Jonathan Thomas winning back his Wales place?
I hope so, Mark. I hope so. Great servant to us in Welsh rugby. Very versatile. Guy can play 6, 8, 5, 7 at a push for us. You know, as honest as the day's long. So I hope so. It's not my call, Mark. The challenge for all the players now, particularly the established players, is we've got a raft of young talent coming through all the regions. We've seen it in the World Cup, we've seen it in the LV Cup and the Pro12 at the start of the season now. The challenge for the established players is to be on top of their game, and that's the same for Jonathan. And I think he's really been a positive for us. Aside from his national selection, he's led well. He's shown good qualities in the group. He's shown his maturity and his time in here at the Ospreys. So they're invaluable to us. Whether the national coaches see that as something that can add to the Six Nations, well, we'll have to see what his form is like between now and then.
Sure, last one. Do you get any players back from this 28-man squad at all that you know who maybe
No,
not
none this weekend.
No.
None this weekend for any of us, I think. But we'll have to see for Munster weekend. Again, that's purely down to the national. We're planning as if this is a 2-week block without the 8 selected players.
And what a chance to Reece Webb.
Yeah. Again, and Reece has been excellent for us. Came back after a shoulder injury at the end of last season, and worked really hard this summer and started the season with a real bang. But I think, you know, Khan's performances have shown the reason why we've signed him, and now Reece, I can see in his eyes this week, his sleeves are up, and he's going to take his chance over the next couple of weeks, that's for sure.